Pickacard. What do they think when they hear your name? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Priscilla with Untitled Chapter, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1. What do they think when they hear your name? We're about to find out. If you are new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, my babies, I am so grateful to have you. Thank you so very much. So what comes to mind when they hear your name? Let's find out. When they hear pile number 1's name, what comes to mind is knowledge. I had a friend who would say knowledge is knowing. So you're learning as you go along, so stay open. So I feel like when they think about your name, they think about somebody who is always learning. This is what I'm hearing is they think this is a person who never gives up on learning, who actively is reading maybe 5 books at a different time. And if you're not necessarily like a reader, you're studying 5 different subjects or looking into things and deep diving, okay? So I feel like somebody incredibly studious, somebody that they cannot pull the wool over your eyes kind of a thing. And then looking back, that's interesting and unexpected. So when they hear your name, what they think about is, yeah, they review you from the past is, of course, like pertaining to them. So if you had a relationship, situationship, a friendship, if you were besties in high school, whatever the case is, and it says review the past for clues on how to move forward. I also feel like when they hear your name, they want to look at cycles. Interestingly enough, cycles that you've undergone in your life. Maybe perhaps this is a way for them to explain in their own minds, like where you're at. And when it says, on how to move forward, maybe it's even like how to move forward with you, right? If this is a romantic thing. Now, if it's non-romantic, I guess if it's platonic, it can still apply. How do I move forward with, getting my best friend back, or getting my cousin back, or getting into good graces with so-and-so, that kind of a thing? How do they move forward with you once again? Now, this suggests to me that the people that we're specifically talking about are no small feat. They're big contenders in your life, or at least they were once upon a time, or at least they are iconic within their own minds, right? We don't know yet, but let's find out. So whenever your name comes up, what comes to mind when your name comes up? I'm thinking a lot of people from your past, first of all. The Hermit, yeah. Maybe somebody who's mysterious. Maybe you withdraw pile number 1. Look at, I'm reading a book in secret. And then all of a sudden I'm like, is this a girly magazine? Like back in the day, right? Don't judge me. Back in that day. Yeah, they want to know like what you're studying in secret. What is it that captures your attention, that you're not out and about, that you're not going to happy hour, that you're not having drinks with people, that you're not socializing and rubbing elbows with everybody? They want to know exactly what you're studying. And then we have right here the 10 of Swords. So it could also be that maybe perhaps these people are thinking about like the mean things that they said to you. I'm getting that for someone. Now, this might be like 30% of you guys, whoever's tuning in. And that would be fine. And keep in mind, these are general readings. If you would like a personal reading, go ahead and check the box below so that you can get my email. I do have inexpensive readings. I have one for $25 for 15 minutes. This one question. And then I have a regular one for $89. But I feel like what these people are thinking about is the pain that you've endured, and maybe even the pain that they have put you through, right? Depending on who we're talking about. I feel like pile number 1, it is common knowledge that you've undergone something incredibly painful. And not only that, there's like the scales of injustice were like tipped sorely against you, I feel. And this could have been something to do with the law. This could have been something to do with like when you're growing up, you had no choice but to. It could have been so many different things, but I'm hearing that was a lot of gossip, a lot of talk. With the 10 of Swords, I always think about that as not only like massive betrayals and massive endings, like sudden and devastating endings to where people even were hoping for a downfall. I feel like people could have plotted against you, but I also think it makes me think about people gossiping. I feel, nosy Nellies ain't got nothing better to do, and God forbid they have like a good thing going in their own life or trying to make a good thing happen. So they're out there strategizing for people's downfalls, and ooh, I wonder what's going to happen. Pile number one, and did you see that they tripped? Did you see that they fell? And did you see, and so on and so forth. And it's interesting to me because I feel like if you're so invested in stories like that, I feel like you were around the wrong company to begin with, friend. I'm just going to say it like that. With the learned and these people looking back, it could have been that they had cycles with, causing you to fall flat on your face or relishing in your failures when you did. Now, pile number one, I feel like also what comes to mind is your passion, your dedication, the thing that wakes you up in the morning. Not that thing. Gee. Yeah, this got a little bit, maybe even like your sex life comes up. I don't know why. Okay. It's just, I'm putting it out there for somebody because it came out. I can't help it. Knight of Cups. Yeah. And I feel like if these people make any romantic gestures once upon a time towards you, I feel like that's also coming up in the conversation, or when your name comes up, it's coming up within their minds. It could be conversation within their own brains, right? How many of you guys sit here and like have conversations within your own mind long after the situation is gone, right? But with the Knight of Cups, I feel like what they're talking about is also when they think about you and your name comes up is like how much they desire you, whether friend or platonic. But I feel like a lot of this is sexual energy coming through. I meant friend or romantic, right? Because friend and platonic, similar, same. In my mind, I'm seeing somebody kind of pulling someone close. It was almost like they had to, or they thought they could like manhandle you or force you into being in their space, that kind of a thing. Excuse me, that kind of a thing. And I feel like, one moment, please, while I remove glitter from my teeth. I haven't had so much glitter, even stripper glitter back in the day when I was, a midnight ballerina, so to speak. I don't think I wore this much glitter. So it's kind of ironic. But anyways, so it could be maybe even that what comes to mind is maybe if you're a stripper back in the day, that could have come to mind. It could be also like the amount of glitter, or maybe when they got close to you, they got glitter on their clothes, that kind of a thing. Your scent could be coming to the forefront when your name comes up, which is interesting. And the Hierophant reverse. So this tells me that, yeah, there was no commitment. There was no commitment, but they have an inability to move on. So when your name comes up, they're like, damn it, Martha, why didn't I commit? Or damn it, Howard, how come I didn't like figure things out? Or wrong place, wrong time, right person, wrong time, or wrong place, or whatever they talk about. But I feel like that's what things start to kind of like fester and come up within their minds. So what comes to mind when they hear your name? Pile number one, we have the Knight of Wands. And these knights are all, the knights are a little bit, I feel like fanciful is the word that I want to say. They're kind of like showy and dramatic, and then I want to swoop in and like the Knight of Cups, he wants to swoop in and whisper sweet, delicate nothings and maybe stick his tongue in your ear kind of a thing. Or is that more of a Knight of Wands action? Yeah, probably. But then you have the Knight of Wands. But neither one of them, if you notice, they're on their high horses. They're not going anywhere. They're going places, but they're not going to stay for long, is what I'm saying. So maybe they're talking about or thinking about how they were in it for the minute, not to stay, that kind of a thing, okay? And you're going to take messages only that apply, of course, as with any other of my readings. If it doesn't fit, let it fly. So what comes to mind when they hear your name? Ten of Wands. You've been incredibly burdened, that you've taken on a lot within yourself even, that you don't need to take on. They've seen that you've had to wrestle and wrangle through life, and you've had it very difficult. And I also feel, yeah, the fates have changed. I also feel like what comes to mind when they hear your name is not only have you had it difficult, but these people, predominantly when you're coming up within their brains, these people are people that did you wrong. They did you dirty. I feel like they weren't there for the long haul for you. They didn't like share the stresses or the daily burdens with you for sure. I feel like you could have largely been on your own with those things. But now what's coming to mind is a Wheel of Fortune, how fate is smiled upon you. And I feel like it is a sudden reckoning is what I heard, but it is a sudden awakening. And I feel like in some way that your fate is like glowing up, showing up, and finally your time has come. I'm hearing your season is here. I'm also hearing that it's also a time when they are on the decline, that things are not going well for them. Like maybe you are losing weight and your hair journey is looking really fly, and you're high in demand and you're becoming, you know, really confident and comfortable with yourself or whatever. And meanwhile, they're on the reverse motion of that end of the wheel. And this is fated to happen because it's in the upright, my friends. So pile number one, when your name comes up, when it comes to mind, your name, you come to mind. These are things that they're thinking about. It's like how fate is smiling upon you. But they failed to see how they were, you know, how they spat at you. Some of them really did not treat you very well. And so we don't really care. I feel like in retrospect, I'm like, you know what, whatever, good luck to you and good riddance to you and keep it pushing. Like, I'm not interested in people's downfall. But I feel like with the fate, right, the Wheel of Fortune right here, it reduces to one. They're seeing you become a new beginning, become a new person. Also, how you've been able to kind of dismantle and destroy maybe a surface that you once upon a time had built upon. And that reaches a lot of people with a vibration of insecurity. I feel like basically what I'm saying is that they feel insecure when they see you dismantling things, because they're like, wow, you're not with the facade anymore. You're not with the faker anymore. You're not with the lies anymore. And also I'm hearing that people are afraid that they're going to be exposed. Okay. So that's for somebody. I don't know who, but they must have done something really, really bad or said some really bad lies if they're fearing exposure here. Pile number one. What do they think about? What comes to mind when they hear your name is the Eight of Swords. They get all up in their heads. They get all up in their heads. So I said it right there. And I feel like a lot of these people also, it was like, you could have been like a sexual conquest for them. At least that's what they were thinking. And then all of a sudden they caught feelings or something happened, or hear me out, they're experiencing some karma for behavior like that, for using people. I'm using people's emotions against them, using people's kindnesses against them, weaponizing. I heard your admiration and things like that. And I feel like the shoe's on the other foot. And they realize that there's no turning back this ship, this boat. This venue for them is closed. Pile number one. What do they think when they hear your name? The Ten of Pentacles. How you are loyal, how you are true, how you're dependable, how you are worthy of commitment, and how you have a whole team behind you, my friend. So if you didn't experience this with people like within your lifetime, like thus until now, I feel like you're amassing, accruing a bunch of people behind you that have your back, people that really understand you, or at least have come close, the closest to understanding you than ever. Okay. I know that my channel, I want to say collect a lot of odd ducks, a lot of, you know, weird. I mean, I'm odd. So who's going to be drawn to me but other people that are similar in vibration? And pile number one, I definitely feel like you could have been so misunderstood, but I feel like people are really wanting to look back, wanting to understand, and starting to see the cycles, maybe cycles that you've undergone, and cycles that they perpetrated as well. Last but not least, what do they think about when they hear your name is good times? They remember the good times and be nice out. That's for real, the last card. They remember like the times when you used to go eat, drink, be merry, pick up chicks together. I don't know your life, right? You would do a bunch of things, and now you're on a whole different trajectory, and you're more learned, and you're more introverted, and you could be, I don't know, Virgo could be in here because Virgo, the Hermit card was out here too. But there's something about you withdrawing from all of that and going within. And I feel like you have an incredible spirit about you. No, for real, that is the last card. No joke. Okay, Six of Wands here. I feel like they could be seeing you in your era where you're being celebrated, where you are being elevated, where you are getting your flowers, so to speak, right? We talk about that a lot on channels like these. And I feel that could be something that is quite intimidating. And also it has a really big implication. I feel like also they're experiencing a lot of karmic backlash from whatever it is that they've done. And not everybody, I'm not saying everybody has done you dirty. I'm saying that the people here that wanted to come through and talk about like what happens when they hear your name, that's the people that are coming through. It isn't necessarily people that really have your back all the time, or that are in really good with you right now, or that are really like, I'm a cheerleader for pile number one. No, these are secret haters. These are like ex-boyfriends, people that used you, people that like wanted to fantasy bond with a pinky swear with you. Yeah, you know, we're in it, and you can, you know, and we can do this and future faking and all sorts of stuff. And I feel like they're looking back and they're like, wow, that was really kind of corrupt of me, or that was really crappy of me, that was really shitty of me. So that is all I have. I feel like it was a kiss to you, and it's almost like I guess an indirect apology, right? Because I feel like at this point in our lives, a lot of us don't even need the apology anymore. And I feel like that's when you're really healed, is when you're not searching for an apology. Keep in mind that people can only give from the vessel that they have. And if they are operating from a place of like destitution internally, or loneliness, or some back-ass word line of thinking, they have nothing to give you that's going to be worthy. Only you can offer yourself like that peace and that understanding that, you know, it is what it is. And I'm okay with that. You know, no answer is a good answer, because it's still an answer. So that's all I have. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome. Hi, friends. My name is Griselle with Untitled Chapter, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2. What do they think of when they hear your name? What comes to mind? We would like to know. After we light a little bit of Palo Santo, don't judge me. Don't judge me, all. What comes to mind when they hear your name? If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my babies, my repeat offenders, thank you so very much for being here. Pile number 2. What comes to mind when they hear your name? And they could be anybody. We're going to find out. True love. Put your whole heart into what you desire. I'm all, you could do it. Put your back into it. Ascension. You rise to the highest spiritual pinnacle. Yeah. So I feel like what comes to mind is that you could be a lot of like the ones that got away. The one that got away. I'm hearing, I'm vanilla, baby. I ain't no killer. Wait, I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, babe. Something like that, right? I'll choke you, but I'm no killer, baby. Something like that. Anyways, that song can mean something to someone out there. But maybe this is somebody that has some like kinky sex with you. I don't know. Did I say that? Yeah. Infertility. It could have been somebody who tried to impregnate you. I'm just saying. A lot of my male viewers, if this is, you know, if you're a male viewer, then obviously it would be somebody that tried to get impregnated by you. So you're just going to fit the narrative, flip the narrative, however it would fit, if indeed it does fit, because you're going to know. This will resonate with your spirit or it won't, right? Pile number 2. What do they think when they hear your name? What comes to mind when they hear your name? A wise decision, that you are incredibly wise. Also that you're very fragrant, that you smell really, really good. I'm smelling somebody smells weird. I'm smelling somebody sounds weird is what I meant to say. I'm smelling somebody who has like really pretty like shampoo. Like they use really good fragrant shampoo. The hair smells really good is what I mean. Okay. So they can also kind of like lean in to try to talk to you to get a sniff. This ain't no scratch and sniff, but pile number 1, you would think you were. Maybe also that you're a little bit lucky. Like you're considered a lucky charm, like a lucky extension of people. Like what comes to mind is like, gee, when I was around pile number 2, my luck really turned. My luck started looking up. Things started looking better. I felt better about myself. Also, maybe you were helping people like get their diet corrected or like their eating or something about, because all of a sudden my attention internally got withdrawn to my digestive system. Like, wow, I feel really, really good. Maybe perhaps you guys were like taking a yoga class together, or you were teaching breathing techniques, or you were doing them together. I don't know your life, right? But what comes to mind about you is how you really met them during a timeline when they were the healthiest and the best. And let's find out what's going on right here. What comes to mind when they hear your name? Pile number 2, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So the Page of Cups says to me, I want to give you a little apology, or it could simply be somebody who's young and creative, young and inexperienced. This could also be a child. We can be, if you have a child, we'll be talking about your child. So this could be a child who's incredibly spiritually in tune. They could have a lot. I heard nightmares for somebody. So maybe your child's having nightmares. Hopefully not. Get some help with that if that is true. But the Page of Cups tells me that they're very sensitive. They're very in tune. They could be very in tune with you, and they see you as the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female. It could be that you are very dark, very mysterious, very much like on your own path, very kind of conservative, very much able to kind of draw within your own resources to create more resources, that kind of a thing. I feel like you're very approachable as a parent. Indeed, if you're a parent and this is a child. Now, if this is not a child, then I feel like, because we're reading for the mass, optimistically reading for the masses, my friends. So pile number 2, what do they think when they hear your name is that you're very stable. It's that you're very connected to Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, and I saw 444 right now. A lot of things also that you, it's almost like it's my way, the highway, or I know best, Mother knows best, that kind of a thing. But I'm also feeling that you put down a solid foundation and you make these people feel really good, like they know what to expect and things like that. 9 of Swords, what I tell you, somebody's having nightmares. So pile number 2, what do they think when they hear your name? You are the High Priestess, or the High Priest, doesn't make a difference to me. I feel like you're incredibly connected, and it's like these faceless figures. It could be that you are like she who knows, he who knows. You're between the pillars, right? And you are, it's like you hold space in silence for everybody. You hold people's secrets, but also you have your own secrets. And I feel like you could be very feared in a lot of ways. You give people anxiety because they don't know exactly what it is that you know about them. Now, pile number 2, I also feel like maybe somebody could be astral traveling or trying to in order to see you. The 9 of Swords, that one in particular makes me think of like an apparition, right? They could be wanting to take up space in your mind. They could be trying to instill fears. Now, this is a whole different demographic, by the way, whole different kind of people we're talking about. So 9 of Swords, it could also mean that maybe these people are suffering from anxiety when they think about you, and it makes them nervous. What does pile number 2 know about me? Do they know that I lied? With the 5 of Swords, these people want to know, are you aware of their shenanigans, of their bullshittery? Look, and this is my yes, absolutely card. Yeah, you're aware of that. Do you need to say anything? No. Sometimes it's easier to go ahead and allow things to pan out and play out the way people would like for them to, because they seal their nail in the coffin, right? Sometimes it's best to let things play out to the very end, and that way it's like there's no reversals, there's no rethinking things, there's no let me do a sleight of the hand, some hocus pocus, some whatever. And I feel like that's what these people are anxious about. Yeah, it's like maybe perhaps they used you as a, I heard object, or maybe they objectified you. Also could be that you feel like you're larger than life sometimes. Yeah, and that you get in their head and they get incredibly depressed about this. Why? Because they're liars. I would like to know what they've lied about. Okay, I know this is about you, but this is causing a lot of anxiety to not just like 1 or 2 people. I feel like quite a few people. So pile number 2, why is the 5 of Swords here, please? When they hear your name, oh, they think about what they lied about and they haven't been able to like rest easy about it. Bitches. Okay. Page of Wands. Yeah, because why should they rest easy about it if they're lying on your name or lying to you or lying about you? With the King of Wands. And this could be somebody who is in and out energy. Look, Page of Wands. Kid behavior. I feel like this is, again, maybe you are coming from pile number 1. This could be a type of person, right, that you dated or whatever, that was like, oh, I'm just, let me get it in, and then gone. that kind of a thing. Sorry to be so crass. Jersey Shore could be something of important here, or like a flag, a clear red flag for you. But they could be thinking about the times when they played you, or they used you as a scratching post, or they used you to boost their self-esteem, bolster their image or their self-confidence, and then they would disappear and things like that. And I feel like they kind of grew through some things with you, but they sharpened their talons, their nails on your skin, on your flesh. That's not nice at all. Pile number 2. I feel like these people have a whole different perspective on who you are, but they also, ironically, have a whole different perspective on what they've done, on the lies that they've told. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, they're out in the cold. There's no way for these people to come back. And I even see this man, even though he's not texting clearly, right? I mean, look at the era he's in and stuff like that. But I feel like this person could be looking at their phone, looking at their text, wishing that you would text, wishing you could respond, things like that. Maybe they're blocked on all of your socials on your phone. If they call, whatever, it goes straight to voicemail, or like blocked, whatever. King of Cups. So for others of you, pile number 2, when they hear your name, they think about how they would love to be romantic with you. They think about you and they think poetry. They think flowers. They think beauty. They think expression. They think, I would love to cuddle with you. That came out of nowhere. They would love to cuddle with you. 8 of Wands. Yeah, they would love to come towards you. It's like when they think of your name, when your name comes up, what comes to mind is how they would love to communicate, how they would love to rush to your side. Let's get a little bit more on that. This could be a barrage of communication back and forth, ping-ponging, that kind of a thing. Pile number 2. What do they think about when they hear your name? The Wheel of Fortune. I definitely feel like you could be coming from pile number 1. And you have a lot of different demographics, okay? I'm sorry that a lot of that was like on the negative side, because these people are feeling how they're feeling. And sometimes we just don't care anymore, right? We're like, well, I mean, off with their feelings instead of off with their heads, right? Although that would be fun too. Just kidding. I digress. Pile number 2. When they hear your name, what do people think of? What do they think about, please? On the positive side, King of Swords, how incredibly intelligent you are. You could be a divorcee. You could be undergoing a divorce. You could be a lawyer. You could be in law enforcement. You could be a surgeon. You could be a doctor. I heard metaphysical practitioner, but you're very precise at whatever it is that you do. Queen of Wands and 2 of Wands. That you have a lot of passion, that you're multifaceted, okay? That you have a lot of options as well. Maybe perhaps also when your name comes up that you're a globetrotter, or perhaps that whatever it is that you do has gone global. Yeah. 2 of Wands, maybe perhaps that you have global options, or they think you do. Right? Like maybe you have a chance to move to Spain, or to Greece, or to Australia, or, you know, to Africa, or wherever. To Peru. Ace of Swords. Also, the manner of your speech, the way that you speak, the way that you're concise, precise, it's very cutting. It's very to the point. It's very intense also. It can be very intimidated. So if you're on the wrong end of that sword, believe you me, people are scared of you. But also, I feel like these people are very fascinated with the way that you speak, the manner of your speech, your intelligence again. And it could be that you have higher education. Maybe you have a lot of letters after your name. Maybe you studied a lot in school. For others of you, you are self-made. 3 of Cups. They think about the good times. They think about the times that you would eat, drink, and be merry, that kind of a thing. They think about the times when maybe perhaps happy hour was a thing, or like I'm here, you're my dog, and we used to run together and stuff like that. And it's like, then you ran on separate paths because you don't have the same destiny anymore. You're not on the same frequency, and therefore you're no longer aligned. But they think about that. Pile number 2, what do they think about when they hear your name? We have the 6 of Pentacles. How incredibly giving you are. And it's almost like it's come full circle. Maybe they gave to you, now you're giving to them. Maybe perhaps Six of Pentacles can be like a generous benefactor as well. Maybe they think that you have one or that you are one. I'm hearing what? When I hear pilot number 2's name, they are the daddy. Like, they don't need a sugar daddy. They are the sugar daddy. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Again, about you being solid, grounded, focused, approachable, productive. How you are a wealth for the family. And not just like, you're like iconic, not just like money, but you are the resource, the go-to person. When the family gets in trouble, they come to you. I'll bet they do. Judgment. How your judgment is sane, it's sober, it is balanced, it is accurate, it is fair. Pile number 2. I feel like a lot of people want to come towards you too for blessings. I know it sounds like really weird, but it's like they want to run things across you. They want to run, yeah, they want to run things, how do they put it? Let me run things by you. Okay, hello. Maybe live in the bayou. I don't know. By the bayou. Never been to the bayou. Can you tell? Does not know the bayou. Anyways, but maybe they want to run something by you and they want like your blessing, you know. Did you guys watch, there's this guy on one of the socials, I don't know, and they're like podcasters and they're trying to film also. And this guy's all like, he's like this, and he leans over and he kisses a mic, and he's not religious. He's got Tourette's and he's got tics. So maybe perhaps when they hear your name, maybe they remember like your tics or something that's endearing or that's funny, quirky, like, cause that really like engaged me. And I love that man. I don't know who he is, but he just cracks me up, and he doesn't even speak English or speak in some kind of other language. It's so cute. Anyways, yeah. Last card for the pile number 2. When they hear your name, they think of 8 of Cups, how hard it was to move away from you. How hard it is not to think about you, perhaps. That could be a thing for someone out there as well. How much they regret not pouring more into you, and how they went in search of like their 9th cup. And to be honest, some people found their 9th cup, right? Their joy, their peace, whatever. But I feel like largely a lot of people have not found their 9th cup, their wish fulfillment. And what I'm going to say about that, I'm not suggesting that you are the wish fulfillment, because I feel like we can't be everything for everybody. We have to be our own wish fulfillment, right? In order to look for somebody else and say, you complete me, is foolishness. I feel like it just puts a lot of pressure on somebody else, and it really detracts from that responsibility that we have towards ourselves to make ourselves happy initially. And then we can be happy with someone else. Great, right? Like healthy, or, you know, mostly healed. 2 people coming together make still 2 people. Anyways, I think you get the gist. It's not, you know, being codependent and meshed and things like that. But that is what I have. And that's all I have for you. Much, much love. If you'd like a personal reading, go in the description box below. Otherwise, I will see you during the next reading. Until next time, namaste. Welcome to my channel. Pile number 3. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys who interviewed my babies, my repeat offenders, I'm ever so grateful. Thank you all so very much for your time. So pile number 3, what do they think about when they hear your name? We're about to find out. What do they think about when they hear your name? Lady Luck, baby. I know that's right. Fortune gives you the golden touch now. The golden touch. I got the magic stick. I don't know. Maybe got the magic stick. Maybe they gave you the magic stick. Okay, stop. I feel like you're very much heart-centered, heart-led. I feel like people have a lot of fondness for you. Opalite could be important too. The stone opalite or moonstone at this point in time in your life. You could be carrying it or you could be gifted it, right? Also, that you have beautiful ideas, but also that you're incredibly beautiful in your speech and your mannerisms. That anybody to old school talking, but excuse me. How do they put it? Anybody who's lucky enough to have you. I'm like, what does that mean to have? Ain't nobody having me. I have me. Damn it. But anyways, I'm all grouchy and old. Don't mind me. But you get the point. It's like Lady Luck. I feel like what comes to mind is that people are like, oh my goodness, you know, That is a lucky man, a lucky girl to be with. Pile number 3, whoever, whether you're male or female, right? Doesn't make a difference to me. Now, pile number 3, when they hear your name, they think journey. What comes to mind is journey. You travel or discover a new side path to explore. Interesting. So maybe you are a known traveler. Maybe you work on a ship. Maybe you have a boat. Maybe you have a yacht. Maybe you've been invited to one recently. That would be just extra confirmation for you. But pile number 3, also, it's like the way you sail through the world, the way you sail through life, the way that you move. You could be very fluid in your movements. You could be very changeable on your destination. You could be also like very adventurous. Almost 222 on camera right now. Almost like maybe you have something in your mind, kind of like, this is what I want to achieve, but it's not like, it's something more within. It's not like, I want to have this house, or I want to have, or maybe it's like, I want to have a house and a husband, but you're fluid as to wherever spirit says, hey, this is a good place for you. Like, let's check it out. Let's go. That kind of a thing. Pile number 3. What comes to mind when they hear your name? We have the 7 of Swords right here. How mysterious you are. And 7 of Pentacles. 7, 7. When I say lucky, like Lady Luck, we're just missing 1 7. We'll see if we get it with the next few rounds, right? So maybe perhaps you have a hat that's 777. I have one. Of course I do. But maybe it's like they gambled on you, or that you're a gambler. What comes to mind when they hear your name? They are incredibly strong and astute. Also that you move differently from other people. The Page of Wands. That you have, some people could have seen you to be a little bit like impulsive. But if you look carefully at this Page of Wands, they're holding a plant. And like with a plant, it's not like you're going to be moving super fast, you know. It could be a fast growing plant, but with the Page of Wands, it's like whatever it is that your hands touch, it seems like it blooms overnight kind of a thing. Maybe perhaps 404 on camera right now. 409 confirmation. Maybe somebody's cleaning right now. I don't know your life, right? But I feel like what comes to mind is maybe that you like to clean with 409. Maybe that you like to invest in things that are going to be rapid growth. Maybe you have like a diversified portfolio financially so that you kind of get the goods faster than the waiting, the returns, right? So what comes to mind when they think of you? When I think of you, Magician, nothing else seems to matter. Really? Chariot. And Magician. And I almost said Elliot because I was trying to say Chariot and I couldn't. So maybe somebody's name is Elliot. Maybe the Mask with Elliot is coming to mind if you haven't seen it. It's a really good movie. Old movie with Cher. Very good movie. But maybe that has something of a confirmation in there for you. Maybe perhaps you ride with a motorcycle gang or with a motorcycle club or with a car club. I don't know your life. But also what comes to mind is that you manifest things really, really well. That you have people that rally around you in spite of things that could have been difficult for you. That maybe perhaps you finally have people that are like really helping you, prop you up during difficult times or challenging times, or helping you move away from difficult times, and you're taking your dreams with you onto better times. Pile number 3. What I feel like comes to mind when people think of you is a Chariot. It's like how you will part ways, how you will leave, how you will up and just take off. Because if it's not the right thing, if it's not good for you, if it's dangerous, if it's not edifying, you're not going to be sticking around anymore. You already know. You've been around too many dream killers is what I'm hearing. And what comes to mind, maybe even your vehicle. Like people talk about your car, or they talk about the kind of car you drive, or the condition of your car, or like how you take, you know, castles in your car, metaphorically. It's like you pack up your dreams and you're just going to move on into something that gives you joy and happiness and freedom. You feel very much like nobody can hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. The Sun. So I feel like also what comes to mind is a really good reputation. Nobody can say you have a bad reputation. You got another thing coming. So if you did have a bad reputation one amount of time, like, I'm just saying, been there, done that. I just want people to be comfortable. You know, I don't have any designs on like judging. And that's why I'm very open about my own life when I need to be. Okay. So maybe perhaps even if your name comes to mind around people that you didn't have a good reputation, I feel like that is ending. It's like you've changed something about it. I'm hearing Made in the Shade. So yeah, the Sun again, and the Knight of Swords. I think that you're clearing up a lot of mess that other people have put on your name. So people could have lied upon your name. You are, yeah, that makes sense. You're my pile that, you are my group that was probably horribly done by other people. You were lied upon, spied upon, frowned upon. You could do nothing right. And even when you did right, it wasn't right enough. That kind of a thing. Look, for a wand. So I feel like what comes to mind right now is how stable you are. How in spite of all the difficulties and challenges, how stable you are. Maybe you have a beautiful home. Maybe you just went to a getaway. And then it looks so romantic with your partner. Or you had a staycation. You had a lot of fun. And it was just very romantic. And I don't know, like once upon a time. One of the most romantic dates I ever went on, we actually planted our, it was raining, oddly enough, and we went outside and planted all of our shrubbery outside, and I was like, wow, this is so romantic. It was just a me thing, a me moment. So maybe perhaps that you're unusual, unconventional. Yeah, I still get like Queen of Pentacles, very much so. The Hangman, that you look at things incredibly different. Nobody looks at things the way you do. You could have a very spiritual side of you. And also that spiritual side serves to clear up a lot of curiosity, a lot of mess from other people as well. A lot of people were like confused and confounded when it came to you. Maybe because they didn't know you directly. Maybe because they listened to wrong people. Maybe because the wrong people would not shut their mouths about you. That's another thing I'm hearing. Pile number 3, but that matters not, because I feel like your integrity, the way that you conduct your life, and the way that you handle yourself is really kind of clearing up your name, even though you have, we're not here for that, right? But I'm hearing there's been a clearing of your name, much to the chagrin of other people. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. What comes up when they hear your name is how they're walking on icy ground, how they're not allowed within your personal space any longer. How they're suffering destitution, being away from you. How there's no warmth, at least not from your campfire. Pile number 3, 4 of Pentacles. How you keep your feelings, your emotions to yourself. How you don't let nobody know what moves you're making next. Yeah, I wonder why. Shocking, isn't it? Pile number 3. What comes to mind when they hear your name? Maybe how you walked away. Maybe how you were forced to walk away, I should say, to seek the 9th cup. The 8 of Cups is you trying everything within your power to find that happiness. And it just was not working. And so maybe perhaps you had to move on. Justice. What comes to mind when they hear your name is maybe perhaps that you're incredibly just, incredibly fair. Maybe you're incredibly open and really authentic, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to own my ish. I did that. That sucked. I hate that I did that. I ruined that. That was me. That was my bad. I did it. And maybe you're that kind of person where you see justice and fairness for all. You're not like biased about, let me just make myself look better, best, whatever. Yeah. You're not with the fuckery anymore, my friends, is what I'm hearing. I feel like you could have taken a lot of time to process things, and maybe what comes to mind when people hear your name is how you process things by yourself. People don't really understand it. Maybe you're an introvert. Maybe you process things through work. Maybe you're an overworker, overachiever. Maybe you put in the elbow grease times 10. And that's what people think about. Queen of Wands could be about your industry, your work. The things that you create a living out of. People talk about that. That comes to mind when they hear your name. And last but not least is the 4 of Pentacles. Maybe perhaps how they didn't appreciate you when they had you, when you were around, that kind of a thing. It's almost like, okay, next. Now serving 500, 559, no. Now serving 500, 10. It's not even a number. You get the point. You get the point. But my friends, I just feel like maybe they thought that you were boring. I've had people say I was boring too. And I'm like, well, okay. So is your upper lip. But each to their own. I mean, excitement is defined in very different ways. And I've been around a lot of people. I think excitement is having drama. It's being triangulated within different partners. It's having different partners. It's, you know, oh my gosh, aren't you going to fight for me? That kind of a thing. And I'm like, no, that's ego stroking for you. That's not excitement. So I feel like when you come to mind, when they hear your name, what comes to mind is how they feel nostalgia for you, how they wish that things could have gone different. There's an element, yeah, of you cutting what no longer serves you. And it's so funny. When I see redhead now, I hear fire crotch from, and don't get mad if you're redhead. I've been a redhead too. If I think of it, I'll put that picture up where I was red for a long time. But I got that from the Millionaire Matchmaker. That's what it was. Patty was her name. Yeah, but it could be also maybe that you are very fiery, quick-tempered, hot-tempered, that kind of a thing. But that you're definitely going to get things done one way or another. That you're not, you know what though? I feel like what comes to mind is that you've had it really rough. That maybe you've had like the beat down. I've had the beat down. I'm just saying it's not, I'm not advocating nothing. But if you've been on the other, any side of domestic violence, you know, whether a kid run up or whatever, I just want to tell you, I feel like what comes to mind is your survival skills have really shaped you who you are today. And I think people are afraid to mess with you. I feel like that's what comes to mind. And also, it's not like you're going to be attacking people. I don't think that's what they think. But now you're kind of like, well, okay, if I need to defend myself, if I need to fight you, well, I guess I'm gonna. You know, but you're not out there swinging and trying to prove things and trying to be like, mine is bigger than yours, if you know what I'm talking about, right? So pile number 3, last one. What comes to mind for pile number 3 when they hear their name? Luscious. I heard luscious. Okay. So maybe that you are incredibly luscious, that you are very strong, that you're really good with Roman numerals. Just kidding. Maybe perhaps that you have an incredible lion's mane, that your hair could be a thing, whether it's fake believe like this, right? Or whether it's still mine, y'all. I paid for it. I don't care. Anyways, strength card is that you're incredibly sexy, incredibly strong. You could be a Leo. You could be somebody who is very protective, right? What comes to mind is that you're very protective. And you do it for the good of the community. It's not more like, this is my bone. This is like, those are my cubs. What are you messing with my cubs for? This is our territory, our area. What do you know, so it's more communal than individual type of a protection. So I feel like also that you could be quite electrifying when you walk in. I feel like when you walk in, people's heads turn, okay? I kid you not. I know you're going to be like, nah, Griselle, but yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Don't be arguing with me on this. On this point, I'm 1000% correct. So that's all I have for you. If you'd like a private reading, go ahead and check the details below so that you can email me. I've got, they're reasonable. I've got one question for $25. I would give you 15 minutes. Or I can do an $89 reading for you. That would give you a video just like this, okay, with your questions. So that is all I have. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Much love. Until next time, namaste.